Alright guys, in my garden, and I wanted to show you around. I haven't really shown you around much. I've showed you some of the things that we've sort of taken out and put back in, like before and afters, but we've missed a lot of the plants, and I've put in a load of plants on that back border and they're in flower, and so they're really late summer flowering. It's going to end up being a late summer, early autumn flowering border, because that's when I've gotten around to doing it. But we've got loads of seeds to plant in it as well. The sunflowers, we've not really been able to harvest the seeds because, well, they were getting eaten by the mice, we think, but it's been so wet. When I looked into the seeds, they were just all mushy, so we've struggled with that. These fuchsias are really nice. So these are a really late summer plant, and so we've got the one on the left here, which is really big and high, and then a smaller one below it, and it's a nice contrast because they do look quite different. The one down here has quite a plain green leaf, and then the one here, its stem is a bit more red and brown, and so there's a nice contrast in height and colour. And then in here are some really tall hellebores, and they come out with some really stunning flowers in the winter or very early spring. And then we got through this path, it's a bit blocked, but you can brush past it, and there's another fuchsia, but a light green colour, so more contrast again. And I must say, I've never really thought about fuchsias before, but as they're here, they do look quite nice actually, with the late summer colour. This is the buxus that we chopped down, and look how much it's sprouted back. It was a huge ball, and you can see it in previous videos. You can see all our progress in previous videos. It was a massive ball, and it just didn't really feel like it belonged there, but I might leave it as a smaller bush, more natural looking, instead of just a round random ball. And this thing is quite tall, and it starts from now until the beginning of spring, pumping out these little pink flowers, and they smell amazing. They're really fragrant. And this rose is still going, it's its second flowering, and it does climb up this plant, so it's nice to see the rose flowering part way up, but that's more, yeah, you see some of the flowers coming out now, so we'll have to hope that keeps climbing. And of course we've got the sedums coming out this time of year, and I hadn't thought we had any sedums, but they are tucked around a corner a bit, really, in the back of the garden, so I'll have to multiply them out and put them in the back border. And they're really easy to multiply. You can do it two ways. You can just take off a leaf like that, take off the leaf, and then just put it in the soil over winter, and I could do that now probably. And if we came back to that, that might be growing like that. Or you can just divide them. Yeah, and there's plenty down there to divide. There's loads down there to divide, so I'll be able to get them out. And there's another couple of sedums here, but they're very small. One there. So we've got lots of material to multiply out. I'll take you around the back border in a minute, but I just wanted to see some of the plants around here that have come out in really late summer. This thing's nice. This looked like it was dead until sort of mid to late summer. Then it started putting out leaves, and it's got these purple berries, so some of you might recognise that. But it's always worth waiting to see if a plant will revive. Sometimes they do. And that's a nice pink flower from this bush, and it did flower a lot more a little bit earlier in the year, maybe midsummer. And then this thing's just come out, so we've got some really nice delicate white flowers, and it's all over. And this is a bush that I think we did cut down to about a foot high at the beginning of the year, so this has taken a long time to grow out and then flower. And we've got these golden ones that Actually, I really like the way they look when they have this kind of fuzzy, furry, they were bright yellow flower, and then when they go to seed they've got this sort of white fur on them that sort of blows off a bit and leaves the brown seed heads. So they're quite nice, and I want to leave all of this stuff standing because it's so good for the birds, and there'll be plenty of seeds. If I show you some of the stuff, like in here, there'll be loads of seeds inside these seed pods for the birds to peck away at through the winter and into the spring. These are quite nice. So there are some nice things, even though it's late summer. And down here there's a wasp looking for food. A nice purple flower, quite close to the floor as floor cover. And then I'll take you onto the back border, and there's some lovely things over there I'll show you that have like clusters of bright red berries. Oh, this rose is still flowering just about. Can't remember if it smells nice or not. Faint smell. There's others that have a stronger smell. So I'm really pleased with this bit I call the berry farm, and we've got some berries in the back, and oh wow, they're really pumping out a load of red berries at the moment. The boys will be pleased because they just keep going to it every day and getting berries. But there's a rudbeckia that I put in down there a little while ago, and this thing down here is starting to flower, which looks nice. And then from one of the customers' gardens I got some more of these. We've actually had some come out over in the far corner, and I think I just like how they look so much. I wanted to try and get more. And here you can see the lupin's a bit worse for wear, but it's coming back. I've got a phlox. We went to the Malvern autumn show and bought a load of flowers. That's a tree, an apple tree we think, that I grafted earlier in the year. That's a phlox, which is really nice. And then this is a dahlia. So yet to see what that's going to look like. And that is this is a raspberry that has yellow raspberries. And there's another one over there. So I've got some white currants. That's a white currant, and that one, and then that one down there. And that's a rhododendron that's done very well. Bought it earlier in the year, and it's just starting to develop the new buds for next year. Be really pleased to see how that looks. And then here we've got a rather sad looking gooseberry, and all of the leaves have been eaten slowly but surely, nearly all the way to the top. So I don't know what's eating those leaves, but it's certainly enjoying itself. I've put in loads of verbena, and I've managed to get loads of seedlings from various different gardens that would have just been thrown away. These two I bought from a local garden centre, and they seemed a bargain, so another couple of verbena there. And then here in this little area I've got an allium, and there's a few alliums here actually. This one's white, that one's a smaller purple one, the flower's over, and I've got some yellow garlic ones as well. There's marjoram there and rosemary here, and then this is another gooseberry, but yeah, it's losing its leaves at the bottom, but not as badly. And then I'll show you this raspberry. It's brilliant. These are the best ones we've had. Look, I've got some raspberries there and here, so I'll send the boys out, and it's great because it gives them an activity to do as well, because they can be very excitable inside. There we go, more there and in there. So a few other bits and pieces. There's a forsythia on the back wall there that we're going to see some beautiful yellow flowers on in the spring, and then other berry bushes, so tayberries and I forget what, and then there's other bits that we've added. So there's some chamomile down there. Anyway, lots to come in the new year. It'll be a very exciting spring. So we'll just go through here. This is a beautiful plant we got at the Malvern show, and it's right at the back of the border, and it's meant to spread and be twice as high. So at the moment that's up to my sort of hip, and that'll go up to my head when it's properly grown next year. And here, oh, there's a black currant over there, and then here we've got a kiwi plant. So I've got some bamboos and some big sticks, and we'll try and tie it and train it up this tree. So this is the tree we want to train it up, and we'll just have to see how that goes. Kiwis do ripen in this country, but they do need a sunny spot, so we'll see. Down here, I finally decided to plant the magnolia there. I've had the magnolia a while, and then you'll see that we've got the odd little verbena here and there. So for example, a little seedling down there, and then we have been spreading loads of seeds around as we've been collecting them, so we'll be spreading them about a bit more as well. Got this from the Malvern show. That's very nice. Again, that's going to branch out and have several flower heads. And then these I got from various garden centres, so it'd be nice to see what they end up looking like. And some more of this stuff. And then my older boy bought that with his own money, a dahlia. We put in a hydrangea behind it that his mum bought. And this thing is another amazing purchase, along with that tall yellow one I showed you. Oh, and look, we've got a little fly. And another little fly on there. And these will fan out and grow really tall and expand, and that should be another really good sort of filling plant. And then a couple more. This is a hibiscus. It has some nice purple flowers. And then here we've got a couple of, and some more verbenas down there, seedlings that I managed to acquire. And there's one here that's a bit trampled, but that doesn't matter, because this garden is for walking around and on. This is another dahlia, and the last bit of it is Mia, M-I-A, a Rebecca something Mia, and it's very nice, very nice. Those flowers will be bigger as well. The display ones they had were more impressive, so look forward to them growing out. And this is another one as well, but it lost its flower, snapped off in the car on the way back, but that doesn't matter, because a lot of this we're just planting for next year and hoping to get established. And it'll be incredible to see all these borders, to see how they develop, because it's a big border to fill. But we've been doing pretty well so far. I'd say the left hand bit will be pretty full next year, and then this bit still needs a bit of work on. And we go around here, we'll see what Steve's working on. I should have probably showed you first. We're just weeding out this bit fairly thoroughly, and what we're getting rid of, this bit here, we're getting rid of this stuff. As you can see, it's just sort of taken over as a monoculture and just carpeted the floor, and nothing else really grows through it. And I do want a bit of variety in the garden, so that's why we're weeding out this sort of monoculture. It's kind of the equivalent of ivy taking over, or anything else for that matter. And it's not particularly attractive. It does come out with flowers in the early part of the year. I think the mother-in-law calls it lords and ladies, but I'm not particularly wedded to it, and we've got it elsewhere. So yeah, another big border to fill. So we'll be laying down some of the seeds that we've been collecting, and then buying more plants and hopefully propagating more plants out as well. Like I showed you at the start of the video, the sedums, they're easy to split out. We could get some more of the perennial geraniums and see what else we can put down. And I may as well show you the other fuchsia. This thing's wonderful. It's a light green leaf, and then it's got this beautiful magenta flower, and it's flowered twice this year so far, and that's what it looks like. And it's got a really nice shape. It's a really nice plant to have. Ooh. This is the fuchsia near the greenhouse that we chopped down to a foot at the start of the year, and look how much it's come back. It's almost grown into the greenhouse again, and I'll show you what's in here. We've had mice come in, but it's been fairly successful. It got a bit mouldy, and so some of the tomato plants are at the end of their life. We've got a pepper, a chilli plant in there. A mouse bit the top of it off very early on in the year, and then we've got loads of strawberries. We've got strawberry in there, as you can see it. And started off with strawberries in the top hanging basket, and then found another one on the side of the road to put under it to try and root some more of the strawberries that were hanging off the side. And so we've rooted a few more strawberries, and there's more sort of dangling down from over here. More strawberries to plant. There's Bill. You follow me around, Bill. And we got a few tomatoes off these. There's a few left, but the boys have been getting the tomatoes. Oh, and there's a big spiky cucumber, just seeing how big that will grow. And then in here is a couple of white strawberry plants that produce white strawberries, and then there's one, and I don't know which is which now, but there's one that produces big red ones as well. And these down here are our main stash of yellow raspberries, and you can see they're just starting growing. I didn't expect them to do anything this year because we got them late in the year, and planted them quite late, but kept them in the greenhouse so they'd get a good start, and then we'll probably transfer them out into the borders. But we may keep a couple in here, I'm not sure. But yeah, at the end of the road for the crops in the greenhouse, we had a good harvest of some stuff, and the boys have been sort of in and out. Oh, and the basil. This is all the basil. It's doing well. Just starting to get seeds as well. I don't know if they're going to be viable, those seeds, because I don't think they've been pollinated, the flowers, but we'll see. So an interesting first year in the greenhouse. Let's try and shut the door. Yeah, plenty more to do. Oh, this is nice. Getting little red berries, you can see them. Looks nice in the winter, that red bush, the contrast. And then there's the back bits of the garden, but there's a bit less going on. But the boys have built a den, and I'll show you what they've done so far, because it's a nice, I think that's got its use. I wasn't sure what we were going to do with this area. Oh, and if you have a look on the floor here, see where all the soil is. I've been putting some seed down and then sieving soil on top, some grass seed, Did it in this area as well. And then we've been storing a little bit of waste for shredding up there onto our third Dalek with the compost. So that one's just started. Got some flies and stuff in there. And then these are topped up to the top. Oh yeah, that's sunk a little bit. Yeah, they keep sinking, which is good. And that one as well. And what I'm hoping, and this is where I've been digging the soil out for putting on the grass. What I'm hoping is that we'll be able to produce enough compost next year to be able to grow potatoes. I really want to do that. This is their den area, so they've been putting the sticks up. There's around these existing sort of plants and trees, and then if I show you the other way in, it makes it look a bit more obvious. Look, badger got through that fence. One of the neighbours blocked off where they were going over there. They were getting in down there, they blocked it off the other side, and so they had to go at this part of the fence. We'll just have to, we'll replace all the fences anyway, because they're a bit old and knackered, including this one that's falling apart. It's rotten at the bottom, so we'll need to replace that. But this is a good entrance way into their den, and you can see that they've made a nice little brick area, so that's the core of the den. And it's covered and surrounded by all this, and so if we go in, they've got this lovely little area they've made, and it's quite private. It's totally covered. That's the back of it. That's the side. And then this is the front. Lots of sticks. So, nice little den area for them anyway, and they could make potions and stuff in there. So, there it is. But I think it will lose all its leaves in the winter. So that's the area, and that's all the vegetation on top. And then here's the swings, and the grass seed's not done too badly. Here we're in the deepest shade, and it's still growing, and then we get further out here it gets a bit more sun, and I've used it's called a Child's Play mix from Boston Seeds, and I've put 2 lots down. Not too heavy, you know, just throwing it around with my hands, and it's establishing well. So I've got a bag of it still. We'll just keep putting it down and mowing it, and that looks all right. So that was the impassable area before, and the boys have a nice place to swing, and then I've got a nice place to sit and try and relax and supervise. As if that happens often. Okay, well that's it for now. Over and out.